I want to bring in our producer, Hlela Mquqo. She's live for us to hear more about what happened the day Chris Hani was killed. Hlela, good to have you on the program this evening. Hani's killing was no doubt a pivotal moment in this country's history, and you are with someone who witnessed the aftermath firsthand. Tell us more.
Thank you so much, Blaine. We are not Cliff. We are here to talk to the SABC former camera person, Dingaan Mosaka. He was the first person to arrive on the scene of the day when Chris Hani was shot dead. So we are here today to relive that moment of what really happened on that day. He's going to take us through the moments and everything that happened after he got paged to be told that Chris Hani has been gunned down on his driveway at his house. Welcome to you, Dingaan. Thank you so much for welcoming us to your home. It is on the morning of the 10th. Of April 1993. You get paged, you are told that Chris Hani has been shot dead. Please take us through what happened when you got into his house.
As soon as my pager went off, I went to the input editor and who told me to rush to the scene. Fortunately, I knew where Chris Hani was staying, and unlike the international media, we were all driving at high speed to get there, and I was the first person to get there. And when they barricaded the crime scene, I was already inside the yard and talking to the people inside, and there was chaos there, and everything. You know, when the dignitaries came, let me hasten to say that I was the only camera person inside the yard. So all other foreign international media, they were outside. They were there, but outside the yard. So I had exclusive shots of the body, the bullet-riddled body of Comrade Chris lying there, and every time when the dignitaries came in, like the Mandela, you know, they would remove the flag, you know, to expose the body so that they can see what happened, where he was shot, and things like that. And AOR Tambo, when they got there, I was inside. I was fortunate enough to be inside. And I then called the office to ask for reinforcements. I remember they sent a guy called Dennis Goddard to come and shoot everything outside because I was the only person inside. So our shots were they were used from outside and inside. It was like, you know, it was an OB at that time. And that is it.
You get there and his wife and his daughters are there.
Yeah.
What is going on at that point in time?
There were screams, neighbors were there. Nokolo, the neighbor, our former journalist at the SABC, was also there trying to calm down the wives, the kids. They took the kids away, you know, they mustn't see their father. And it was just a sad day that day. You know, people were sad, were furious. And, you know, I remember at one stage when I was filming Tokyo, crying there with Jill Marcus trying to console him. I also had, you know, tears in my lens, you know, in my eyepiece, you know, but I couldn't show because I was there on the story. I didn't want to be part of the story.
So you are covering the story from the 10th until the day of the funeral. What is the feeling on the ground during that week? What are people doing on the ground during that week?
It was yeah, I stayed on that story, you know, until the funeral. And there was so much chaos in the country. And I think up until President Mandela, or Mandela at that time, he was not a president, until he addressed the nation that, you know, people must come down, you know, everything will be all right, and things like that. But people on the ground were furious, you know. There was so much animosity, you know. At some point where we were going to shoot, they would ask us where we come from, you know. We were not, some of the places we are not really welcomed, you know. And yeah, I had, you know, as a newsman, you have to stay on the story and see it to the end.